Hi guys, I thought I would do a little bit of an interlude and do a bit of a short edit for the AMA we had last night with ChainMyth. Now, it went for over an hour and I absolutely think it's worthwhile watching the entire video. If you think the game's going to be good, if you're looking for a first-person shooter that is going to have MOBA style mechanics, and look at Valorant, that's going to be the game that's going to be the closest gameplay that we've been told that has an option play to it. But we couldn't, I can't make 20 minutes into doing this video justice on what it was. We talk about the team, we go into the game, how they model the characters, the NFTs, where they're listing them. Special note, they're listing on FTX. And then we talk about lots and lots of things about the NFT, the tokenomics behind the team, the project, the game. Concentrate a lot on the NFT because it's not just a standard PFP. There's a lot of options of what you can do with it. And then we go into more talk about the gameplay later on, how the game is on its own engine. So it's then being run in a game client and it's not going to be restricted by needing to have wallet signatures all through the game, which is super important. So if you're interested in looking for a long-term game, this mints on the 15th. We've got a competition in Discord on Grape still for a meme contest. We're going to hopefully have some special things coming up and linking with ChainMyth. I think they're amazing. I love the team. It was super awesome to have Zoe on. And please enjoy the short edit. And if you get piqued by that, definitely go and have a look at the longer. It's worthwhile listening to, even if you're not just watching it because you just see my cheesy face on there. But I loved it. I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you, Mother, for the rabbits. And welcome to stage, Zoe. Thank you so much for coming along. Would you like to introduce yourself first, and then your team of ChainMyth?
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for hosting this stage and giving me the chance to speak here. And hi to all the listeners out here. So I'm Zoe from Singapore, and I'm the team lead analyst of ChainMyth. So we are building this game called ChainMyth. It's focused on two different game genres, which is FPS and MOBA. So we are a team of 12 members. We have 2 game developers, 4 modelers, and 2 smart contract developers. And regarding VFX and SFX kind of works, we'll be outsourcing to a studio. So the things which will be handled by our team is just the front end, back end, and animation works. So anything related to SFX and VFX will be outsourced to a studio. So I'll just give a small intro about myself, how I got into crypto, and what really made me develop this game, come up with this idea, how we formed the team, what's the utilities of NFTs, what's our long-term plan, everything I'll be discussing here. So I'm into crypto space for last 3 years, and what really got me fascinated and excited about this space was during DeFi summer, which was last year. Before Solana, I was very active on Ethereum. I was interacting with a lot of different dApps and experiments. So my first ever dApp which I interacted was this thing called Yam Finance. That's the first yield farming dApp, if I'm not wrong. That's when I really understood the potentials of smart contracts, how it can automate all the middleman jobs, how your digital assets can earn you yields just by staking. So that was my first ever dApp which I interacted on Ethereum chain, followed by all these lending protocols like Aave and Maker, Compound, where I can just borrow stables, followed by all these rebase tokens like Ampleforth. So these are the kind of innovations and experiments on this blockchain space which really got me interested to dig in deeper and understand the potential of smart contracts and automating things. So back then, even before NFT became mainstream, I had these ideas. So this idea was since last year, August. So me and my friends, we are a group of Dota players. So for me, how I look into gaming is it's a piece for me. I mean, gaming is a thing for me to connect with my friends. For me, it's a kind of medium where I can just get in touch with my friends because everyone are in different parts of the world. So gaming is the only way I can get in touch with all my friends. So I'm a very hardcore Dota player with more than 7 years. I've been playing this game for 7 years with more than 15,000 hours spent on that game. So
Do you
since
still get
last
do you
year,
still get any time to play that now, Zoe, while you're building?
it's been almost a year since I played it. Ever since I got into blockchain space, I hardly played. Yep. So we saw NFT going mainstream mid of this year, but I came to know about NFTs during last year August. So that's when I always used to talk to with my friends. Like there's a lot of use cases around NFTs rather than just an artwork, because artwork is just 1% of what NFTs can do. There are a lot of multiple use cases where you can push utilities to the NFTs and let your NFTs do the work. So if you look at games like Dota, all the all the virtual assets which you see on the screen is everything is centrally stored on the server end. So I was telling my friends, it will be awesome if we can just if you can just tokenize all these kind of assets and let this be owned by all the NFT owners. Let it be totally decentralized, store it on a decentralized platform like Aave, and let the control be with the NFT owners and not the creators. So, and also there's this thing called MMR where you can earn points. It's a ranked mode where you can earn points. So I always used to give ideas to my friends like, it will be awesome if we can just earn in-game currencies instead of points. So these are the kind of small ideas which we always used to discuss last year. But during that time, we did not had a team to build. We did not have the right resource. There was no game developers or modelers or animators. We had no resource at that point of time. So uh, it was just an idea since then. And mid of this year, we saw NFTs started going mainstream. We saw a lot of people started believing in NFTs and started trading it. Honestly speaking, at first I thought NFTs was just it was just a scam. I thought that people are just wash trading, just creating fake hype and fake demand. But after noticing the trading volume going up and people start believing it, that's when I told my friends, we should start building a game. We should start pushing utilities to NFTs, and instead of just an artwork, we can bring NFTs to the next level and let people, I mean the people who are holding NFTs, let them do the job. Let the NFTs do the job instead of just holding on the wallet and speculating. Let them make the NFTs into work. So mid of this year, around August, is when we started forming a team. We started getting the developers. Game developers are my ex-school friends, so they are indie game developers based on India. So I called them and told them there's this thing called NFTs and it has a huge potential as long as we can deliver a top quality game, and if we have the right skills and talents, it will be appreciated in this space. So I made them understand what's the potential of delivering a game in Solana. Then we formed the team. That's when we hired all these character modelers, animators, and smart contract developers. It took us close to 1.5 months to do all the planning and designing. We discussed like what kind of game environment we should choose, how many characters should be there, what kind of spells we should introduce. And after doing a run through with my team, we chose Indian mythology because Indian mythology is something that is untouched in traditional gaming space. Most of the culture that is we always used to see is it's either Chinese or Greek or Japanese. These are the kind of cultures that is commonly focused in traditional gaming space. So I told my friends, let's do something which we are very familiar with, something which we know the history, the culture. So we chose Indian mythology because we are more comfortable designing the characters based on it, and introducing all the spells because we know the history of all the gods and goddesses. So we took Indian mythology and Indian gods as an inspiration for this game. That's when, for regarding the game environments, we introduced. We are designing buildings that are British India kind of buildings, buildings, Mughal empires, and colonials empires. These are the kind of different kind of buildings we'll be seeing in game. It will be totally different visual experience from a gamer's point of view because this is not something that is common in a lot of games. I have not seen anybody introducing a different game environment like that. So as a gamer, you will be seeing this on ChainMyth. So the visual experience will be totally different, and the characters are all inspired from Indian gods and goddesses. We are not going to portray any of the gods, so we are just going to make use of the elements, their superpowers, and weapons. These are the these are three things which are inspiring from all these Indian gods and goddesses. So coming into the game, how the game will be is it is a 5 versus 5 multiplayer game. So there'll be two different teams, attackers and defenders. The objective of attacker is very similar to Counter Strike, where you have to plant or defuse a bomb, and the MOBA mechanics which we are introducing in this game is every characters will have 4 different abilities. Means they can cast magic spells, and it is being distinguished between 3 type of heroes: strength, agility, and intelligence. So this is how we are going to split all the characters, and each of them will have unique spells to cast. So when the game starts, for the first 10 minutes, you guys will be farming in lanes. You can farm the goals to buy in-game items to strategize yourself. And after the 10 minutes is over, there's this thing called spike, which will be unlocked. And the attacker's team's objective is to plant this spike or this bomb in either of the 3 sites in the map. So there'll be a total of 3 sites, bomb sites, to plant it. So that's when the battle happens. So whoever wins will win the round. So there'll be total of 3 rounds, and the game will go on for like at least 30 to 40 minutes. It depends on how aggressive the teams play.
So these are actually people you're saying from school that you've grew up with and you're still friends with, and you're building this game that's coming out.
Yes, correct.
That's amazing.
So the game designer and game developer, both of them are my school friends. So they are graduated from this university called ICAT. It's a game development university based on India. So before developing this game, those guys were just indie game developers. They were just creating multiplayer games based on Indian environment. So I told them there's this potential in blockchain space. Those guys have had no idea how blockchain or how NFTs works. So I just called them and told them there's this potential. As long as we have the right talent and right skills, we can deliver a top quality game and we'll get the necessary support. So
Now you're going into the Indian side of things. When you first launched, you did say you were going to possibly look at doing Japanese and maybe I think there was Chinese. There was a couple of extra nationalities, but now you've just gone strict Indian and Hindu. Is that what you're going to do to start off with? Maybe later on down the track when you need to expand your gods, you may have to breach into other nationalities?
Yes, so it will not just be restricted to Indian gods and goddesses. When we first launched the game, there's going to be 14 characters. Only those 14 characters are inspired from all these Indian gods. And we are planning to expand the hero pool up to 50. So for the
By the end
remaining
of
50 characters,
2022, yeah?
yes, all of them are not going to be human anatomy, because if you have seen our characters, everything is kind of human anatomy. We are planning to introduce some kind of monsters and dragons as well in the game.
Now we're talking PC only. It's going to be 20 to 30-minute games, possibly longer, and built on Unity. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
So eventually down the track, I know I've listened to other AMAs with you, is you're absolutely not doing phone to start off with because you want to concentrate on getting the game out first on computer and playable, which is good. I like that. Concentrate on the one line first. With that, when can we expect to see possible gameplay? Are we looking end of year? Are we looking beta testing in Q1?
Gameplay, you can expect it on mid of December or third week of December. We will release a small gameplay clip with the existing characters. So far, we have 6 characters already. So
So
around mid
because
or third week of December, you can expect one gameplay video.
what I found interesting when I first saw your video release was you showed us a lobby of 5 characters, and you could see that it was myth to be able to enter into the game, and there was 5 fleshed out characters in there ready to go. So I didn't know the exact number of team that you had at that stage. So I had to imagine in my brain it was saying they're showing us 5 characters. They've got other people on the team away building the actual gameplay. So am I close to point there?
Yes, correct.
So you've got teams doing sections, which is perfect. That's awesome. You've got your launch on the 15th of November. I think it's 11 p.m. Singapore time. Is that right?
Yes.
So how much pressure does that put on you guys to now try to balance the Solana requirements for the game? Are you still going to go in at that $180 price?
Okay, when we first did the golden ticket sales, it was Solana was ranging around 170 to 180. Based on that, we set the 1.2 SOL value.
Yep.
Right now, since golden ticket holders have already minted the tickets and they paid 1.2 SOL, if we are going to adjust for the public mint, if we are going to lower it, then I'm not sure if the golden ticket holders will be complaining because they said they will raise things like they minted it at 1.2 Sol, but the public mint is for lesser than it. So this is something I need to discuss with the community how much they will agree.
Let's go into the NFT a little bit more because it's super detailed on what your NFT actually achieves and does. There's going to be no rarities, is that correct?
Okay, so this is how it works. We are tokenizing all the custom game characters. Since we are launching the game with 14 characters, there will be 14 custom characters, means a mythical or legendary set. So what the Monkey King, I mean, what the NFT minters will be minting is the first character called Monkey King. So this Monkey King will be having total of 7 traits and 100 plus attributes. So every single Monkey King which is minted will be unique, but for the remaining 13 characters, it will be just single trait and just a single custom set. And those will not be minted; those will be airdropped to all the NFT owners. So eventually, all the minters will be owning a total of 14 characters for a cost of 1.2 Sol. So
Yeah.
it's like a bundle of 14 characters. Okay, golden tickets is not yet listed. It will be listed together with character NFT. So once the character NFTs are being minted, both this will be listed on marketplace. There'll be total of 3 marketplace. One is Solana, second is Magic Eden, and third is FTX.
Oh,
So these
wow.
three, we already spoke to all 3 of them, and all 3 of them are happy to onboard us.
Was FTX hard to get onto?
It depends because it was FTX who engaged us, so it was easy for us to communicate with them.
Let's talk a little bit about the juicy topics of what the NFT actually allows you to do in game, because there's so much more than just giving 14 characters, which in itself is an amazing ability. But you've got to stake the NFT, and that then allows you to use your character in game. That's fairly easy to understand. But do you want to talk about a little bit of the DeFi side of things?
Okay, I'll just explain what are all the purpose of NFTs and what are the values all these minters are going to get. It's not just like you have, even if you're not a gamer, if you're going to mint it, I'll explain how you guys can accrue value from holding these NFTs. It's not just speculating and holding in the wallet. So first thing is the of basic utility of this NFT is summoning a character. So how it works is once you guys have minted, it will appear on your wallet, and when you guys log into our game and connect your wallet, it's going to display whatever chainmate NFTs you're holding in your wallet in the game dashboard. Once you select it, the game client will do a metadata call to the JSON file hosted in Aviv to pull all the data. So it is going to gather informations like this piece of image, what kind of data is it being backed by? I mean, what kind of armor is it having? What kind of clothing it has? The hairstyle and the skin, all the weapons, all these kind of informations are stored in the JSON file. It is going to make a metadata call to this JSON file, pull all these informations, and the backend is going to build a hero for you based on that and summon it. And then you can use this character to play the game. Or if you got this is one thing, and there are two challenging features which we are including in the game. One is the lending borrowing feature.
Perfect. So that's one of the use cases. Now, lending and borrowing, we've talked about, that's that. And there's also going to be earnings from the NFTs for some of your matchmaking games. Do we want to go into that a little bit?
Okay, before I get into that part, I also want to explain the two other features of what you can do with NFT. So, lending borrowing is one of them. And second thing is you can also stake your NFTs to earn the in-game's native token called Myth. So, how this staking works is we are just going to create a pool, and that staking pool will be seeded with Myth token. 20% of the supply will be reserved for the NFT owners to farm it. So it will be for a duration of 6 months. In case if you guys are not going to use your NFTs to play the game, or if you don't want to take the risk to lend it out to a borrower, you guys can stake it as well. And when you stake it, it depends on your pool weight, how many NFTs are being staked in that pool, and what is the NFTs you have staked. And based on that, you will have a pool weight, and based on the pool weight, you will be farming the in-game native token called Myth, which can be traded for to buy in-game items, or you can just trade it back for SOL if you want to.